Welcome, all Riss, and welcome to another review. This is a Tudor, but it's not one you would find in their current lineup. Only a few years ago, this timepiece was discontinued, but before then, they were still quite elusive to the Western market. This is the Tudor Prince Date reference 76200, but you wouldn't be the first to mistake it for something else, a Rolex. Today's Tudor creates watches which differentiate themselves from their bigger brother, but this one clearly represents a time gone by, a time when Tudor truly was a Rolex alternative. Here are the dimensions and specs. The Tudor Prince has a case diameter of 36mm, a lug-to-lug of 43mm, lug width of 20mm, and a thickness of 10mm. The watch sports 100 meters of water resistance thanks to a screw-down crown and features 38 hours of power reserve thanks to an ETA 2834 movement. The Tudor Prince Date has a clear resemblance to some of Rolex's earlier offerings, and it doesn't try to hide it. The case features brushed lugs with a polished bezel and polished, rounded sides. Its shape is just like a datejust, making it familiar and attractive. The lugs are drilled, making strap changes easier, and are a necessity if you're looking to change out the bracelet, as the end links have no holes to allow access to the spring bars. The tips of the lugs have a soft curve and a gentle slope, which helps it contour against the wrist. The crown is polished and signed with the same shield emblem found on the dial. The dial on this particular piece is a radial brushed sunburst dial in silver with applied polished shield emblem and indices, along with printed text and minute track in black. We do get small circular lume plots for each hour marker besides the 12 o'clock. However, they aren't really all that useful as they're quite dim. At 12, you will also notice a day function, hence the date+day name. Just like the date, it's nicely framed with a recessed cutout and evokes the feeling of a Rolex day date. But unlike the day date, this watch is in steel. The silver dial really works to emphasize this point, presenting a more affordable and steel alternative to an otherwise precious metal Rolex day date. Regardless of this notion, the dial blends effortlessly with the case and gives the watch a certain charm like that of a prince. Its finishing and indices are not complicated at all, but they just work so well as an overall aesthetic choice. The dial will maintain its shimmer in almost any lighting, and I've yet to experience a dial like it. A silver colored dial was never one I imagined catching my eye, but there's just something special about that silver and the way it ties in with the steel. The hands are also familiar, giving us polished baton style hands with loomed tips. They aren't anything special, but they are cohesive with the rectangular theme of the hour markers and basic dial layout. To really drive home its Rolex DNA is the Cyclops lens for the date, giving it that iconic datejust look and increasing the legibility of the date. The bracelet is surprising in many ways. Being in production for as long as this watch has been, the bracelet definitely shows its age. It's very light and jangly, and there are a few reasons why. First, you will notice a stamped clasp, which has 6 points of micro adjustment for fine-tuned fitment. Secondly, the end links are hollow, which contribute to its lightweight construction. But third of all, the middle links, these ones here, are also hollow, while its inner and outer flanking links are solid. Keep in mind, older production models of this watch may have folded links. Now, do these things make the bracelet bad? Surprisingly, no. Although it's light and jangly, the bracelet feels incredibly well built and refined. The end links meet the case perfectly and could easily be mistaken for solid end links. Its design is similar to that of a Rolex Jubilee, but has a flattened appearance with a wider middle link like that of an oyster. It's as if this bracelet is a fusion of oyster and Jubilee. This makes it naturally comfortable and, in my opinion, more comfortable than the Rolex Jubilee or the oyster bracelet. It also has its own unique look, and the wider polished middle link and polished flanking inner links tie in well with the polished bezel. Its articulation is excellent, and its slim structure keeps the whole watch feeling sleek on the wrist. Aesthetically, it's one of my favorite bracelets, and I hope Tudor revives it into a future collection. Let's check it out on the wrist. Here it is on my 6.5-inch wrist. Although it may look like a Rolex, the insides are anything but that. Powering the Tudor Prince Date is the ETA 2834, a workhorse and reliable movement, but is a departure from Tudor's current lineup of in-house calibers. That being said, it's still a great movement option and is what helped to keep the price of the watch down. It should be said, however, being discontinued, the Tudor Prince Date is becoming scarce, so prices may not be as low as they used to. Overall, the Tudor Prince Date is a charming timepiece which truly resembles a golden age of Tudor, highlighting its Rolex DNA. It's a great alternative to the Datejust or Date, and is a fantastic stepping stone into the vintage watch world. It's an older production timepiece, but modern at the same time. Let me know what you think about the watch in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more watch content. I'll see you in the next one.